What's going on, Canes fans? It's your boy Brad and Bo. We are here with a special edition of the Breezy and Bo podcast, man. We got a really good guest with us tonight, man. It is August 16th,
baby.
2024. And with Miami Hurricane fans that are tuned in on social media, especially on, X, you are very familiar with this most recent commit in the 2025 Miami Hurricane class, man. And you are very familiar with the high school that this young man has been playing football for. But without further ado, man, let's bring up Mykah Mike Newton, man, from Newberry High School, who just
Newberg! Let's go, baby. Put on for the city.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
man.
Yes, sir. Mykah, man, what's going on tonight, brother?
Man, just excited, man. My mom, all of us is weight off our shoulders, man. I'm sitting here watching my little sister. My mama got happy and went out to go watch one of the high school games. So watching my little sister and just, my phone blowing up like crazy. So it's just a lot going on right now. But I'm blessed to be in a situation, honestly, man. It's probably one of the situations I'm happy God blessed me with because, my mom been through a lot. So it was just the perfect thing for me.
Being in Newberry and being from this area, which is Gator country, how much you say your phone blowing up? How much is that people cussing you out mad that you ain't, a Gator and that you're going to the enemy, baby? And you know what we about to do to them in a couple weeks. So how was that?
Yeah, man. So I actually know a couple of players from there, but I honestly really haven't getting like a lot of backlash from Gators. It been NC State. It been just all of them. But I can't really care about the fans. That's not like with me. I brush that off. Like it's so like I got other stuff to worry about honestly. So yeah.
No, absolutely, Mykah. And just to begin with, you recently just talked about NC State, who was a school that you were committed to on July 18th, if
Yes,
I'm
sir.
not mistaken. And NC State was really that school for you. And before we get into your college decision and kind of what led you to picking Miami tonight here on August 16th, let's go back to what you've been doing at Newberry High School, right? And you in particular, man, you got what, 25, I believe, total high school sacks.
Yes, sir.
Here at Newberry in just 3 years. You started on varsity all 3 years from what, freshman to your junior year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, sir.
Man, I mean, so first and foremost, you being able to start as a true freshman at a position that you're playing, talk about your individual growth and what you've seen in particular, you just striving for what you are today and what you're looking for in the future.
Yes, sir. So I say my freshman year, I say that's probably one of the hardest adversity years ever. It's so hard for a freshman to really transfer from middle school to high school. So it's a lot of things you have to. And on top of that, I lived in Gainesville at the time, so I have to wake up super early. It's something I didn't do while I was in high school. While my high school, no, not my high school, middle school. My middle school was like 10 minutes away from me or 5 minutes away from me. So it was a lot of things to do, a lot of maturity. But I still played due to my ability that God blessed me with. I was still able to play through me maturing. So it was a lot. My freshman year was, a lot of things we did, had to learn from the seniors a lot. They really put like a huge impact on all of us now. I mean, like me, Quez, and Logan all played Little League together. So we brought that energy onto Newberry. And, just from there, we just played amazing. I say my sophomore year, we just started building. That's when everybody knew that Newberry could be something in 2 years. Like we literally had people tell us, like, we're gonna be good. Like we're gonna be good. So, we was taking that energy and running with it, man. We just went up from there. And so ever since Quez got his first offer, man, colleges was coming left and right, pulling us out of class. I'm like, man, like this is what coach was talking about, like not too long ago. Like 3 weeks ago, he was just talking about, man, coach, like they're gonna be pulling you out of class and checking on you to see how you is and see do you fit their program and do you fit their scheme. So that's when it started happening my sophomore year. Then my sophomore year, I ended up getting my first D1 offer on my birthday. That was the craziest thing ever, man. I got my first D1 offer from Georgia State on my birthday, and I'm never going to forget that offer. I don't know. I'm never going to forget that one. That's my very first one. Then around that summertime, I end up getting like 4 or 5, 6 more. Then I end up playing my sophomore. When I go into my junior year, playing, just a dog, man. Just dog mentality. Had that chip on my shoulder that, man, everybody was sleeping on me, man. There was a lot of coaches that like hit me up and didn't hit me up, like hit me back up. I'm like, dang, man. So just made me go out on the field with anger, man. Everybody in front of me, they got to go down somewhere. Like that's how it was. Everybody was gonna feel me. That's how I came out. So, you know, also I speak back on my sophomore year. I thought it was good. I had 15 sacks. I think I had 15 sacks that year. 15 TFLs, either 14. I had it was something like that, but I had a crazy year, so I had to make it at least better. I was so mad I didn't get 15 sacks this year, but I got 13. I got 27 TFLs, so I made sure I did a lot more better than last year. Make sure I worked on my craft, my bending, just me getting stronger in general. I gained some weight from sophomore year. I was 240. Went in the year, my junior year, 250. It's pure like some muscle. I gained some muscle. Like I woke up in the gym at 5. I used to go at 5 o'clock in the morning. Then during school, right after school, I'm right back in the gym. Then right after again, I'm right back in the gym. So I was constantly getting at it. It was really just constant work. So junior year, I played good. We ended up losing second round. It was kind of disappointing, but hey, we're gonna have our years. We're gonna be okay. And this year, I promise you, we're gonna win state. I promise
Yes,
just for Newberry.
sir.
For
Hey,
Newberry, we're gonna.
that's what I wanted to hear, baby.
Yeah, we're gonna
Then
win state. We're gonna do it. I promise you, we're gonna do it. We're gonna take it all the way there. So, that's honestly just my whole journey, man. Just I always play with a chip on my shoulder, no matter what. I feel like I'm always like an underrated kid, and I love being that because hey, I don't want to be like the talk of the town. Everybody be like, oh, he overrated. Like everybody call me underrated. Everybody I talk to call me underrated. So I'm okay with having that underrated name under there. I'm
yes,
cool
sir.
with that.
Yes, sir.
You talked about feeling like you're underrated, and I had the privilege of interviewing Jarquez, when he got that Miami Hurricane offer, and him obviously being Ohio State commit. Congrats to him. But he talked about, we kind of spoke off air about. He talked about that opportunity of the University of Miami being kind of that first big school to land that helicopter at Newberry High School, and not only him, but his teammates like yourself, and the students, and kind of the whole city of Newberry, right? Kind of got to feel that atmosphere that's never been felt before.
Yeah.
And it kind of goes for full circle now because, like I mentioned before, you were committed to NC State on July 18th.
Yes, sir.
And then you unofficially visited Miami at the end of July.
Yes, sir.
Talk about that visit in particular and kind of what fast forwarded, this decision to, make you feel like, what, even though NC State was a very good school for me, I kind of felt like this was, this was what I wanted to call home.
Yes, sir. So, man, the visit was, A1 in my opinion. It was amazing, man. I loved all the coaches, man. Coach Jason Taylor is the most humble guy ever, man. He got all them accolades. You can't even tell until he bring him up and anything. He's a great guy. Coach D Train, man. Shout out to Coach D Train, man. He's a great guy. Coach D Train, Coach Joe, Coach Cristobal, man. He's a great man. I remember I never to a head coach. I never talked to a head coach like how cool it was with him. Like he talked about video games, man. Like video games, like man, like that's a very unique way to connect with me. Like he didn't try to get me. He didn't try to sell me. He just told me, man, I beat my son in NCAA so many times till he cried. I was like, man, I was laughing so hard. That was the funniest thing ever because my dad be trying to do me the same way, but I'm kind of good at NCAA. So yeah, but with that, man, I got to see the academics, got to see the campus a little bit, man. I feel like it's a perfect fit for me, man. That's why me and my family talked about it and made sure we prayed about it. Like I talked to my preacher. I took him along with me to NC State to that visit, and I asked him, "Can you just pray for me on everything on my behalf?" Because it's a lot. Recruiting is not easy. It's one of the hardest things ever to deal with. If you want to be D1, this is like when you get over one offer. It's a lot. So it's the most stressful thing ever. Sometimes be needing like a prayer to help me out. So we prayed about it, and I considered like I wanted this to be my home. I wanted it to be my home. Like I ain't going nowhere. I'm staying. I'm gonna repping it everywhere I go.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, Bob.
Oh, so me being a fellow Newberryan and former Panther and stuff, I always got love for Newberry, the players and what they doing.
Yes,
but let me know who is some of like. I remember my days of walking through Newberry. So like, what's some of your like y'all things y'all like to do? Like I know when we were playing, well, I ain't gonna say football. I wasn't like you. My freshman year, after my sophomore year, I quit, bro. I was too small. I stuck to basketball. I say they hitting too hard. They get hitting too hard, and nobody send me no scholarship yet. So, but we used to freestyle on the bleachers, walk the backyard barbecue. That ain't there no more. I think it's 1942 now and stuff like that. But like, who's some of your favorite teachers? What you like to do around Newberry and stuff like that with your boys?
Man, so my favorite teacher my freshman year, man, I got a whole bunch of them, but one that really sticks out to me now, and I still talk to her. She don't go to school anymore. Her name is Miss Purvis. she stood out to me like no other. Like she helped me mature it out to my whole like freshman year. She stuck with me a lot. Like and it that means a lot to me because she was just a teacher that was always there, contacting my mom, contacting my parents, and all of that. So I really like loved her, man. She was still like I talk to her every day, man. Just now, like just like messages before, she'd text me, check up on me, see how I'm doing. Literally like my fourth mom, including my homeboys, mom, they all my mom. So that's like
Did you
that,
say
man.
Miss? You said Miss Purvis?
Yes, man. I mean, yes, sir, Miss Purvis.
Okay. She
Yeah,
wasn't there when I was there. I don't know if Miss. Everybody call her Mama Harris. I don't know if she retired
Miss
before
Harris was
you.
there too. Yeah,
Oh,
Miss Harris was there.
that's my mama. I'm the Debo she always talking about in the class.
Oh,
I don't know
okay.
if you ever heard her tell the stories, but yeah, is Miss still there?
Miss still, I think she's still there. I haven't seen her here, seen her there this year, but she was there last year, most definitely. Her and Miss Kathy was there.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
I
they
just
was
want to
there.
see. I'm just checking in, seeing who's still there. I ain't been there in a
Yeah,
while.
and
So,
also
so
I'm sorry.
no, go ahead, Mike.
Also, Mr. Truesdale, he just left. I don't know where he went at. He was AP biology teacher, man. Loved him, man. He was a very understandable teacher. He knew back in last year I was getting pulled out of class daily, every morning. It was crazy. He was very understandable. Helped me write notes and all of that. Also, Mr. Sheets, I love him, man. One of the best history teachers in the world, man.
Mr. Sheets, he used to play for Big Dude. Used to play for UF.
Yeah.
Hey,
He did.
that was my middle school history teacher.
Oh
Mr.
wow,
Sheets, the coolest dude in the
man,
world,
it's such a
bro.
small world, man.
He's so cool, man. Yeah,
Yeah, he's.
He was my Oakview middle school history teacher.
Dang, I was just talking to him today about it too. I was telling him, I'm like, man, I already had it on my mind. I told him like I only talked to Mr. Seats about things like with recruitment. I said, Mr. Seats, man, I'm going to Miami. He was like, really, man? You committed NC State? I said, I know, man, but it's just something I feel. He was like, yeah, man, I understand you. Because I told him all the hard conversations I had with the coaches. He was like, man, that's really a man, and I'm really growing up because he seen me his junior year. I was a little, I'm a little goofy. He seen my little goofy side, so he liked talking to me, man. He said,
That's
I'm
crazy.
growing,
I didn't
man.
know Mr. Sheets was at Newberry now.
Yeah, he's a
So,
cool coach, man.
So,
I
Micah,
didn't know he was like that.
you're currently listed at 6'2", 255. I'm sure you gained a few pounds of lean muscle. Where are you at right now?
I'm at like 260, 258. But like I think they got the 6'2". I was just measured at 6'3" not too long ago. I'm like, man, I ain't gonna trip about it though. I ain't trip about it. I'm like, man, come on, y'all gotta give me that extra inch, man. Make me look good.
Hey, like we were talking to you off air before we started, man. We talked to your head coach a little bit earlier before
Yeah.
we started the show with you, and
Mhm.
we kind of asked him straight up, man. What is who is Mykah Newton, right? And he
Mhm.
kind of brought up a lot of things. Not only are you a big, strong kid who's very coachable,
Mhm.
very a young man that you talked about just a few minutes ago about your progression, in the
Mhm.
last 6 to 12 months, and he
Yeah.
was very similar on that. The crazy rate of progression that you have gone through on and off the football field, in the weight
Yeah.
room, your mentality on the football field within the last 12 months, just
Mhm.
your overall work ethic, man, and what you bring to the table.
Yeah.
Who do you credit that to, or who are some of the guys that you look up to?
Man, I honestly I'm credit the Lord, man. The Lord for blessing me with my mom, with my parents, my mom. Man, I'm telling you, man, my mama, we kind of grew up together. So, it was times where it was hard. It was hard for me and her. It was really hard. Then my little sister came along. So it's just really just them, man. They really just honestly keeps me going. I look people I really look up to. It's just Corey Durden. I know y'all know who that is. Corey
Oh yeah.
Durden. I look up to him a lot, man. He came to the school. I'm like, man, who's this huge guy? He played for NC State at the time. I'm like, man, he's huge. Coach Johnson told me now he at LA Rams. So sometimes I be training with him. A couple of guys to look up to. Cam Jackson, he played for the Gators. We be training sometimes. Him. Ruben Bain, so I look at him a lot, man. He's a dog. He's a dog, bro. He's a dog. Like, man, I watched him practice. I'm like, bro, who is this, bro? Like, man, it should be in the NFL, bro. Why is he a sophomore moving like that?
Tell me, you said you saw practice at Miami, right? Tell me some of the things that stood out, whether it was just the coaches and the players, whether it's from a physical standpoint or just the mentality, or just maybe a player or a conversation that you had within the building.
What really stood out to me is the intensity and how the players reacted to the coaches. That stood out to me a lot. Just I wanted to see if the coaches really have that firm coaching. Like, yeah, like they listen to you, and they do. They listen to them a lot, man. And that what means a lot to me because I want to see like if the player's coachable, they're gonna listen to the coach. I want to see about that. And also, like, conversations, I would say all the conversations with all the coaches really stood out to me a lot. It's very genuine. And I run into them, they'll be like, "Oh, what's up, Mykah? You know, man, what's good, man?" Like, just all the same energy. Nothing changed. Like, ever since I've been there before, like, visited before or going to a camp or anything, they always just the same energy. And the love them guys shows, it's amazing. It's amazing. I honestly can't even tell you, man.
The love and consistency
Yeah,
throughout
yeah,
the staff, man, whether it's Mario, Dennis Smith, like you mentioned,
yeah,
the whole staff from top to bottom, they're
yeah.
very consistent, throughout the process, and they're real, they're authentic, they're
They're real
100,
authentic. Yeah.
and that's exactly what you want in the coaching staff.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
Mykah, I was at Newberry when we went to state. 2007, 2008 year, we lost to Pahokee in the state
Yeah, I
championship.
remember that. I heard about
But
that.
I was there when we were going and seeing the whole town come together, bro. Like everybody on, it was like Newberry was saving the world, man. Like everybody was so excited. Businesses shut down. You know, the stuff you see on Friday night lights and stuff like that. Like everything just about this football team. Everybody hopes and dreams just with this football team, win or lose. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I know you talked about getting there. How close do you think you guys are to taking Newberry back to state?
Big game with Hawthorne coming up.
Yeah, big game against Hawthorne coming up. I know that. So like, what do you think you guys need to do, and what are you guys doing to prepare to get us back to that glory, man? Because I'm telling you that was the most exciting time of my life when Newberry was going to state.
Yeah. So I'll tell you, man, we were most definitely working. Us as a leader, man, we trying to set the standard for the young guys very firmly and very like tell them like, bro, we not here to play. We win in state, and that's the standard, man. First off, I tell them, man, they say they want to win state too. I'm like, first off, we got to get past that week. We got to get past it every week and win and dominate. Don't just win a game, dominate. We have to dominate all causes, fly around the ball, and just have a humble mentality, man. Just because you got we got me, Quez, Logan on there. I'm like, man, that ain't nothing. We just regular people, man. Treat us like regular people. I tell them that all the time, but I ain't no celebrity or nothing, man. Treat me like a regular person, man. Treat all of us, because everybody, and we all bleed the same, man. Ain't just no famous person, bro. We all gonna go out on the field and play some ball. So we all just got to come out, very just dominate, man. That's all I say. All we got to do is dominate on all levels. We got all the pieces we need. We got, we got Caleb, got Colin. Caleb, our running back, 26 running back. We got Colin, quarterback. We got Hayden, call him Haydo. We got him. We got a good 26 cornerback. We have a lot of stuff. They all on the come up. I'm pretty sure them guys will have offers right after this season, and probably during the season. I'm confident they will.
Yeah, you mentioned Caleb Downs, the running back. I believe it's going in his junior year. Coach Merritt, I actually just got done texting him about 7
Caleb,
10 minutes
about
ago.
Caleb Lewis, yeah.
And Coach Merritt, he offered him when he was over at USF. So like you said, man, I expect the same thing. Coming into the season, as long as you guys continue to do what y'all are doing, man, I definitely see that. Not only him, but with a lot of the other teammates that you mentioned. And going back to some of the reasons and kind of your why, right? You mentioned the Lord, and you mentioned your mom, and there was a specific quote that I read in an article earlier, kind of about your visit to Miami and kind of the overall decision of making this choice. And your mom kind of said, "Don't block your blessings." Right?
Yeah, don't block your blessings.
Don't block your blessing, and it's very interesting. She said, "Don't block them," right? Because you're a guy on the defensive side of the ball that nobody. Right? So it comes full circle, right? So what I want to ask you is, what was that key moment or that key decision where you and your mom and your preacher, kind of gathered around and kind of this was the moment that you wanted to be a Miami Hurricane?
Yeah, so my dad's a Florida State fan, man. He I talked to him about it. He was like, man, I'm just happy for you, man. He was like, cause my father, we talked about it. I talked to all my parents and stuff. My father, he don't really like his family. Our side of the family don't really produce what I like, produce me like they. So he was like, man, he want me to go forward with it, man, cause he wanted to know, man. We don't really have much of me in our family, or so he just wanted me to go forward. And man, he came in. He actually went on a visit with us, so he loved it a lot. He loved Jason Taylor. My dad is a NFL fanatic, man. He gonna know everybody. When I told him, I'm like, Dad, I'm like, this Jason Taylor, man. He called me. He was like, Jason Taylor. I'm like, yeah, Dad, Jason Taylor. Tell him, you talking about the one from Miami? Like the Jason Taylor? I'm like, he was he was like, what, man? I'm like, yeah. Then we got there, man. It was crazy. So we told him all about that, and the pastor, he actually didn't come on us with a visit, but I let him know about all the things that happened and how the whole thing went. And he said it was a good area for me. Talk to my grandma, talk to my mom, and the other people in my family just to hear their parts and hear their parts too to make sure that I know this is for me. So how I kind of boiled down to it is honestly, man, the legacy there, man, is amazing. I say it's something you can't pass up. They take like I say this every time and it don't change. They take every single box for me, every single box. I'm like, wow. I'm like it's nothing. And maybe am I overthinking? Like it's nothing wrong. Like it's nothing wrong. I'm everything is really perfect for me. It's perfect for my scenario. It fits me. It fits who I am. It just fits me all in general. And I want to join the Kane, man. I want to join the Canes, man.
Yes,
Big you,
sir.
man. Big you.
Yes, sir.
Us Kane fans, we say this term and saying a lot, and it's kind of cliche, but it makes sense, right? And the U holds weight, man. The logo itself holds weight, and to your point, man. I mean, not only us Kane fans are starting to believe of what this program could start to become in Mario's third year at this university, but now all of college football, the media, whether it's a Florida State fan like your dad or the Gator fans that are in the backyard here in Newberry, right? People understand that Mario and Miami are building something special, and your mom, your dad, and others have been able to see it with your own eyes, and that's kind of what gravitated you to make that flip from NC State to Miami. And I know you talked about a little bit off air about some of the pressure and the heat that you've been feeling from the Wolfpack. Of you flipping to Miami, man. But we are very happy and excited that you made that decision tonight.
Yeah.
Man.
So yeah, I ain't going back, man. This is home, man. I'm done. Recruitment is past. Man, it's been a lot, and a lot of people be saying like, I have like potential of growing because people think my doctor said I'm supposed to be like 6'4", 275. That's what they want me at, 275, grind that weight. So I'm like, man. Like every coach seeing that later. I'm like, man, it's too late, man. Miami, they got me. I'm here.
And when we turn on your film and watch it, right, you're pretty diverse. You could play inside and outside. And when we talked to your head coach earlier, like we mentioned before, he kind of brought you up to a similar like comparison of a Micah Parsons when it's all said and done, right? Just your twitchiness, your explosiveness, your athleticism, and you could see some of that off the tape. And you playing inside and outside, you're very diverse. And you mentioned Ruben Bain, right, who's another defensive lineman that can play inside and outside. Where has Miami kind of recruited you? Where are you kind of fitting it? Where you see yourself in a defensive line if you're looking at just one position, or you're a guy that's just going to carry that diversity in the next couple of years?
I'm keeping the diversity. They said they keep the diversity. I'm like, man, that would really mean they would put the ice on the cake, man. Say I can keep my diversity. And I love being versatile. I love the matchups, man. It was like, oh, Mykah, go get some, dominate him whole game. I'm doing that for sure. I'm doing that for sure. Y'all going every game. I'm gonna go at. I'm gonna compete. I don't care what. I don't care who it is. I'm gonna go. So that I like that, man. I like the mentality. I like when I was watching film with Coach Jason Taylor. We was going over it. And it was one of them. He was like, man, just run through him. Just run straight through him. I don't care. I'm gonna tell you when I run through him, run straight through him. And I like it. He was serious about it. Like, yeah, I felt when he said that. So I like that, man.
Yeah, man. Hey, I'm just man, I'm so excited to have somebody from the Bay Area going to Miami, man. I don't even like, I'm gonna need you to sign something. So I'm like,
I got you for sure. I got you.
He from here, man. He from here. But do you play any other sports outside of football, baseball, basketball, anything like that?
No, wait, not right now. I was gonna run track this year, but I'm going to college early. I'm going early, so I was gonna run track, do some track and field. Probably do the discus or do the shot put. I'm pretty decent at that. I did a little bit of that last year, but then football kind of got in the way of it because I was a leader. I was incoming lead, like more of a leader on the team. So I'm like, man, I couldn't really do track and field like I wanted to. So it was kind of like a natural for me because D lineman has to use the hip, so it's like a natural and everybody was like, dang man, why you ain't never do this before? I'm like, I never thought of it. So yeah, man, that's only what I do. I played JV basketball just to help them out. I did it for them. We ended up winning. We ended up undefeated. So that's the only thing.
Hey man, when we turn on your tape, man, one of the things I see personally is that the way you use your hands, you're very aggressive off the line of scrimmage. Well, what are some of the things you talk about? Being a leader this upcoming season, trying to help lead your team to a state championship. What are some other things that you're working on this offseason? Obviously, first game is coming up, but what are some of the things that you have done this offseason that you're gearing up to build towards that you're going to be able to use to your toolbox?
Well, I really say I've been working on mainly just my leadership, man. Leadership is the big key. It's the big thing up there. Other things come under it, like I'm working on my band, using my hands more. Realizing past rush situations, just honestly making sure I'm able to, be bendy. I can move anywhere, stretching a lot, man, drinking a lot of water. Getting a lot of rest, man. It's the bendiness and stretching is the key thing to being the D lineman, man. You got to make sure you bend around that quarter to get to the quarterback. So that's one thing I've really been working on. Just the leadership on top of that, man. Helping the youngest, man, get up there, man. To let them know that, hey, the dream not too far, man. We got the platform. Y'all just need to take advantage of it and keep going, man. Because it's up from there, man. I tell them now, I'm like, man, it's up from there. Y'all gonna get y'all ones. I'm telling y'all. Once y'all get them, it's gonna be a lot more after them.
Hey, man. Are there any NFL players or even college players you try to model your game after, or you watch their film and you're like, oh, like that's like me, or I'm trying to add that? Is there anybody that pop out to you like I'm trying to be that?
Yeah. So like I said, Ruby Band, of course, Myles Garrett, T.J. Watt, Aaron Donald, he's out, man. He's retired. Aaron Donald, Lawrence Taylor, I watch him a lot. He's a dog. I watch him a lot. Man, I don't know, like this man's a dog. I watch him. Who else? Khalil Mack. Who else? But I mainly say that's out of all of them is Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett he's probably around the same similar build as me when I get older. When I get around, he's probably around the same similar build. Man, this man's athletic. I seen a video of this man doing windmills, and I'm like, man, bro, you too big to be doing all that, bro.
Oh, yeah. You
like man.
All right, so Mike, I got two big questions for you. First one is this: tell the Cane fans that are listening and tuned in, what is something that nobody knows about Mike Newton? It could be on or off the football field.
Well,
man, don't tell me that.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say, man, I never really thought about this. I'm so outgoing, man. That's a good question. I say, I don't know. Dang, I really don't know, man.
You don't have any like any like personal skills or things that you do, like hobbies or things that like you would think nobody really thinks would be.
I love golf. I fell in love with it out of nowhere. It's no mini golf. I fell in love with it, man. I'm like, put a right little touch on that, go right in there, perfect.
So not golf, it's mini golf. It's miniature golf that you fell in love with.
Yeah, mini golf is. I like top golf and mini golf. I like me and my friends would be going. I got to tell you this one story, man. So it was my friend's birthday. We was in I think we was in Pompano somewhere. We ended up playing top golf, and it was like, all right, bet. It was like, man, you suck, Mykah. You suck. I was playing with the first round playing. And they were like, oh, let's bet money on it. I'm like, all right, we're going to bet money on it. Y'all messed up. So I end up, man, I get up there. They're like, bro, where did this come from? I'm like, yeah. Because this one I had came from Michigan State from the OV. And they was playing a little mini golf. And I was like, man, I'm kind of good at this. Man, once I learned how to really, hit the ball, it was over. I was hitting it all greens in the middle. They were like, man, they lost their money. I ended up winning. I left there with $80. I came in with $0.
Hey, talking about a come up. Hey, man. Hey, that's a come up right there. And I don't know if you've been watching the Olympics, man. If they got break dance in the Olympics, you give it another 2 or 3 years, you might be in the Olympics for miniature golf, man. Who knows? But
hopefully, man.
My other question that I ask every recruit that I interview is this, and you mentioned the word earlier, and it's how do you describe the word dog?
Dog, man. How do I describe the word dog is, always, like I said, always have a chip on your shoulder, man. It's always room to improve, and they always come out there like the job is not finished. Even though you have all those accolades, the job is never finished. Running through everybody, having that mentality, bro. Nobody's your friend on the field. Nobody's your friend on the field. You're gonna attack, hit the ball out, man. Somebody gonna get up slow once you hit them. So a dog is a crash dummy, man. What we call it on the field, crash dummy, man. They gonna hit something. We always gonna go out there, compete, finish everything through, and make sure the team is gonna feel us after every single game. So that's just me, a dog mentality for me, man. That's how I define it, man. So yeah.
Hey, man. So this is my last question before I give it to my co-host Bo to wrap things up, man. But
yes, sir.
We talked earlier about you wanting to help lead this school to a state championship, and you got a big game coming up in the next couple of weeks, right before our big game, Miami first Florida, August 31st. August 30th, it's Newberry first Hawthorne. Right?
Yeah, I'm most definitely going to the game too.
And you're going to the game. Awesome. That's what I love to hear.
Yeah.
Talk about what Mykah himself is going to do to help bring his team to a victory August 30th.
Man, what I'm gonna say is just dominate, man. That's a rivalry game. Some of my homeboys on that too. They all with all that in it, the aroma there is gonna be so electrifying. So I'm just gonna dominate, man. They know. I'm just kidding. They know how I get, man. They just know how I get. I gotta be prepared for the dirty blocks, man. They always find some way to get their helmet into my knee pads. I don't know how. It's just always like I remember the first play of the game last year. They pulled me down and I got no flags. Pulled me down, literally grabbed me by my ankle and by my pants and pulled me down. I said, okay, so that ain't no whole ref looking at me right there. I'm like, so that's what kind of game we're gonna play. So
it's at Hawthorne too. It's at Hawthorne too, if I'm not mistaken.
It's at Hawthorne, so it's gonna be even worse. So it's we finna come out. We gonna come out with a dub, man. I promise we gonna come out with a dub, and I'm gonna give everything in my power. No matter if I have to go play linebacker or safety, I'm gonna play, man. I'm gonna play.
What I like to hear,
diversity. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
No, man, I ain't really got no. I don't really have a question for you, man. I just wanted to say, man, I'm legit proud of you. Like, I appreciate everything. I appreciate the type of person you are right now. You know, I went to Newberry, but I don't know you. This is my first time actually getting to talk to you, man. But like listening to you, knowing the type of person you are, bringing your pastor on visits with you. I don't know nobody that does that. That. This new era does. They not into that, and if they was, they wouldn't say it. You know what I'm saying? But and talking to Coach Johnson about your mentality and everything, man. And my Bo, my cousin, like he told me a little bit about you, man. I'm just so happy to have you as a Miami Hurricane. I can't wait to watch you, man, and see you and Bain lined up on the same side of the ball one of these days.
Yes, sir.
Wait, Mykah, man, we appreciate you for taking some time out of your celebratory day today on August 16th, man. You made that decision to flip from NC State to Miami. And us Cane fans, I know you've been watching, X on your phone. Like you said earlier, man, it's been blowing up. This Cane fan, man, we're crazy, bro. When you commit and you lock into Miami, you are family. We don't treat that word lightly, man. So we are very happy to have you part of this class. Not only you, but your mom, your father, and the rest of your family, man. So if you ever need anything from us, hit us up, and we'll be definitely watching some of your games in person, man. But we appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. Face card is still good at the Berry, so I'm gonna be around there. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys, man.
Yes, absolutely, man. But hey, man, this is Bo, Brad, and Mykah, man, here on the Bo Brad podcast, man. We are out. Mykah, we appreciate you as always, man, and go Canes.
Yes, sir. Let's throw you up before it ends, man.
Yeah, there we go, baby.
Yes,
sir. Appreciate you, Mykah.